Terrence Davis, DeJuan Hernandez, Darius Thompson, and Lindell Wigginton. On the other side, PJ Dozier, 7'3" Kumaji at center court.
You know, you look at Chris Kumaji, and he's 7'3". Well, that's where Kumaji brings a lot of value at this level as a rim protector. Runs well, challenges shots well.
Thibault hits the corner three.
Really good shot preparation. Gets rid of it quickly.
And Boucher answers.
And then they're forced into more decision-making like that. There's Thibault right there, makes a smart decision. It's about making the simple play, and that's what he did.
Originally from Baltimore, played his college basketball at Division II Wheeling Jesuit in West Virginia. Kumaji with a rejection.
They widen the court, especially as the three-point line gets wider and you step into your jump shot in the corner. Oftentimes, you really don't have room to do that.
Wigginton goes down and gets the shot to fall.
Bet up there in Nova Scotia, I understand.
Well, not many have taken the path he has. Just the fifth by PJ Dozier, the former South Carolina Gamecocks.
And if you're going to play at Texas Tech, you better have a motor. He definitely has that.
Dozier had the shot altered by Hernandez, and it's Smith from 15 feet.
Both offensively with him, where he just makes things happen. He anticipates things.
Now hunting on the defensive end, and he gives it up for Jones.
That is a 10 days at the Summer League non-dunk.
Legs are tired,
yeah.
Kind of jump.
Yeah.
Midway through the first quarter, nice dish. Wigginton to Boucher for three. From three. Certainly a great reputation as a defensive player coming out of Oregon. Second in history, in school history in block.
With the basketball. PJ Dozier, so I walked into Barclays a couple of years ago, and they're going to play Syracuse. And PJ Dozier, I hadn't seen him play before as Wigginton knocked down the shoot for Kevin Hervey. And we'll see him in the next game. If he really applies himself, matures, and plays hard, he can play in this league.
Nice drive.
There he comes. Look at the shoulders on this dude.
The native Canadian, Shayak, who played his high school basketball in New Jersey, gives it up for the step back by Sheldon.
This time. This is Mike Cousins. That's the kind of legs, the lift Mike Cousins.
SMU, his last two at Texas A&M, and last year was on a two-way deal with the Cavs. Got waived in January and finished out his season. Because for the players on these two teams, it's their last game of Summer League. So you're thinking, okay, am I going to be a G League player? Am I going to be one of the last guys on a roster?
Siakam of Toronto. I loved him out of New Mexico State. I saw him dive over the first row for a loose ball. And that was my first.
What your role is, but to accept that, understand it, and that can help you have a much more longer lasting existence. There's Hernandez, who swoops in, 59th pick in the draft this year. At the opposite end, it's a good time to buy a jersey. So if you have an American Express card, you can use it and get covered on jerseys for a full year with your Amex.
So my rough
be like the folks who bought, let's say, a Johnny Manziel or a Tim Couch Cleveland Browns quarterback jersey, and they've got the duct tape about 17 layers down because you don't know
those option quarterbacks I talked about that can really has a big basketball IQ, high basketball IQ. I think that's a really neat matchup. A talented
Hayes can leap to the canopy level of the Rainforest Cafe.
I'm more of a Piero's guy as we watch Mario Shayak.
Now, I don't know if I'm going to make it to our second game today if there really are people looking for me. I might get taken out. Path for him, number 30 here in blue with the ball. Comes from Charlevoix, Michigan. That's, if you have your hand held up, your mitten, it's the Northwest.
Now, I mean, I listen. You know,
oh, how about the rejection? The rise at the rim from Boucher. Davis, the lob. He had two teammates in the vicinity. Spurs have gotten good Summer League play from Lonnie Walker, former college teammate.
Of course, Trae Young. That's an interesting organization with the number of young players they have in their organization. Watch out for Chris Boucher.
As you mentioned Atlanta as well, you have DeAndre Hunter, who got banged up a little bit. So
Dumb and Dumber. Okay, there's a light blue one and there's an orange one. So Rich Hollenberg wore the blue and I wore the orange because ESPN was and orange socks.
I'm sure your wife was very happy when you had to explain that purchase.
I slept on the couch for several weeks because she couldn't stop laughing at me.
Where do you in Spain? He's not lying, folks. Wigginton with the three. And here comes Philadelphia looking to get a bucket and close out the half to extend their lead past 7. Deep try, and it's good for Dozier. You're telling a school that you've only been at for a week.
Yeah. Well, he's got such strong Mississippi roots. His dad, of course, was the head coach at Mississippi State.
There's back in January, but got waived in late June. He comes down to throw it again. Got Alton Brand as the GM there, going into his second season. You know, one of the things that he jumped at the opportunity to play in Philadelphia was
not afraid of the big situation. Cubs fans hate him, so I love him.
So if anybody couldn't tell, Oklahoma City against Croatia coming up next. There's Hamidou Diallo, who's going to turn 21 at the end of the month. Looking forward to his court to Kentucky. I think more teams should go in baseball sleeveless jerseys. Yeah, just as I think other sports. Final game of Summer League for these couple of squads here in consolation play.
That's so valuable.
Is that something that can be taught?
Sure. I mean, we would spend hours and hours now.
In terms of basketball options you have in the summertime, certainly you have the WNBA, which its main season is during the summer. But this, in terms of if you are a college or NBA fan, at least sold out.
Yeah.
Corner three is good for Sheldon.
Devo Francis, he'll tell you.
I don't know if I have 30 minutes to block out for that.
He ended up scoring over 100 points a game multiple times at Rio Grande College.
Terrence Davis controls it for Toronto. And he had Solomon on the roll.
To repel the dribble penetration.
Mack against Morgan. And he uses his height to score over the... Who's going to get it in?
Great slip. Great slip.
Tell it like it is, Mark.
He should go back to his other name.
Morgan gets the reverse layup. Three is long from Jordan Varnado.
Geez, you think Max hunting his shot a little bit? With Devin Kennedy. Really good three-point shooter out of Princeton.
We'll see Jawan.
He's out of Point Guard University, Murray State, a racer. Seem to remember some guy named John Morant that comes out of the same place, and Isaiah Cannon as well. Kate, a good player.
Another guy from the OVC who we're not seeing in this game for Toronto, Corey Walden out of Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah.
You have Windler, you have Shaq Buchanan. Hernandez with the feed for Terrence Davis. His career at Tennessee and then went to UCF to finish things out and has been all over, playing in Kosovo, Australia, and was with Delaware in the G League last three and grabs his own miss.
Yeah, then he follows it. Does so many simple little things well.
Thibault connects on the three-point.
Dismantle the Syracuse zone. I'm sorry you're a Syracuse fan, but he did.
Jesse Govan.
Way to get onto a roster and then bring value to that roster. He's a heck of a young man and he's a heck of a basketball. But he's more than that now. He's become a lockdown defender, a really good offensive rebounder, tremendous offensive rebounder. Toronto has leveraged the throw out there.
Why are you thinking weighted basketball or inflatable?
I want a real basketball that's painted red that everybody can see.
Disruptive to the flow of play, but it certainly does get your message across.
But as a coach, that's what you want. You want something you can throw at.
It has to be emphatic, right?
Yeah. Although you might be tempted to flare, shoot it at somebody. That wouldn't be good.
Let's not advocate that.
No, that would not be good.
But I would like to give a challenge to Dan Dockich as an analyst, not as a coach. Just that he has the ability to stop the game from the announcer's table.
Listen, I did not like
for Croatia. 108-102. Toronto made it close down the stretch, but Philadelphia.